Hello guys, more World Team League coverage today with myself, Wardy, bringing you all the best StarCraft 2 out there. This is Dragon Phoenix Gaming versus Shopify Rebellion. If you watched yesterday's video, you will have seen the score got to this point already. DPG lead 3-1 over the Shopify Rebellion, with maps number 5 and 6 now being between Harstem and Cure. So that's why the score says 3-1 at the top. This is two maps, so no matter what, after two maps, 1-1, 0-0, oh, not 0-0, 1-1 or 2-0 or 0-2, this series will be done between Cure and Harstem. But what happens is if Harstem gets a 2-0 and it goes to 3-3, there'll be an ace match. If there's an ace match, I'll whack it in at the end of this video. So if there's a random game and you're like, whoa, that's not Harstem and Cure, well, that's because it's the ace match. That's game 7 of the overall series, and there's no better place to put it. So you guys have a great time and enjoy the games. As we kick into map number 1. Stalingrad to start, obviously kind of a nice map for Cure. Shorter map, right? It's one of the ones where, again, we sort of talk about the Terrans. Kind of liking this because of the size. And sometimes one of the Terran map picks. There's a lot of ledges on this map too, which the Terrans really love to put tanks on and work around with the tanks and this, defensive positions while being aggressive and stuff. So, yeah, let's see if Harstem can figure this out. Harstem usually has some cool builds for these kind of maps where sometimes he goes like faster gates, put the pressure on early, all that kind of stuff. These are the sort of things that Harstem is very fond of doing. So, let's see what he cranks out here this time around. Let's get this underway. SCV comes down, gonna chase a little probey. Is the probe gonna fight the SCV back? Just gonna see that command center building up, and the Cybernetics core is on the way through. Just gonna that Cyber core up and rolling. Thanks, it's about halfway done. Just gonna see a Adept coming out, gonna Chrono Boost there. A couple Marines on the way. I'm just gonna get all of this producing for the moment. As SCV back down the bottom right corner. Just gonna get back into the main. And just gonna be seeing the SCV and the probe just having a little nibble at each other. The Marines come out and push that probe away for now. Taking this away. Is Q's webcam just a picture? No, he is moving. His eyes are moving. He's just very still. Very, very still. Let's see if the Stargate will get it done for Harstem then. Stargate open, good strong start to kind of get some map control and stuff. Not a bad kind of working plan, to be honest. I like it. Just gonna see if our Adept moves into the natural here, and SCV's gonna pull back and get red a little bit. A few Marines moving forwards and just gonna go for that Adept. Adept will fall, and the Phoenix is gonna be producing now. As it's on the way. Probe comes over, just drops down a robo facility. And that robo facility coming up. I'm going to get some Phoenix production going as well. Gateway at the front. All of this coming through for the moment here in this game 1. Again, Harstem must win. It's tough. I mean, if Harstem wins this 2-0, by the way, it's really impressive because I imagine then, Stalingrad, pretty good Terran map, and then if you win 2-0, you're obviously going to be playing Cure's map choice for map 2 as well. That's kind of crazy, no? It's kind of wild. Let's see, on the Medevac, a couple of Marines all pouring out. Tank is on the way up as well. Tech Lab coming through. And SCV comes to the corner, puts down a depot. Just going to see this Widowmine drop from Cure. Going to try and get something done here early on. Moving across. Let's see if there's some damage that can be found as we get this underway. Right back all the way up to the top side there. Just going to be seeing the couple of Widowmines will continue to move on through. Medevac just kind of flies in. I'm going to drop these couple of Widowmines off. You're going to see the Phoenix lifting both of those up. 1 and 2 going down. Medevac is going to get chased away by those few Phoenix. And that will be that for the moment. Just gonna see that Marine Cyclone Raven gonna get there, push those Phoenix away, and just gonna be keeping everything at bay for now. Just gonna be seeing our Nexus dropping down. On the left-hand side, Raven and the Marines will continue through. Colossus still about halfway along here. The extended thermal line still building on the Robo Bay also. So all of this still coming out for now. I'm just gonna see our missile turret coming up, +1 attack stim. Marines, Marauders, all producing for the moment as that SCVs will begin to get picked off. Is the Raven there for DT detection? Well, kind of like we just saw in the, sorry, I didn't see if there's a Raven. I was just helping someone with something in the message. But usually you build a Raven just for the Matrix, because if they're going to go Phoenix, they oftentimes go Colossus. So the Raven can be very, very useful, because what the Phoenix... Observer, what are you doing? Oh my god. Observer was watching the worst possible thing there. What happens a lot of the time is either they go Colossus or they go Zealots. Raven's great in both situations, because the Raven is A, great for an anti-armor missile on the Zealots, and it's B, great for interference Matrix on the Colossi. But it is high risk, because the Phoenix are very good at shutting down the Raven, which is what I believe Harstem was trying to maybe get done there. Trying to find a way in with the Phoenix, get some damage done. Maybe that leads you into that position as well, where you also, are able to kind of fight and, get the Raven. I feel like Q, as you can see how much movement Q put into the Raven, making sure it stayed alive, was keeping it out the way of the Phoenix. Missed a bit of it because the Observer was kind of just not watching anything for a moment or two, but in general was a pretty good little battle of movement there, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Is there goes a Phoenix down for Harstem. Let's get rid of a couple SCVs. I believe got rid of a Widow Mine as well, so these are the things that do help out. These are the things that will definitely put you on the right track for the most part. See if you can keep them going for the moment here. Just gonna see Kira taking the third CC. I mean, Kira now is generally around when maybe you'd want to push a little bit. You've got that Raven energy to utilize. Harstem's actually building a 4th Colossus, which I'm not really against. Usually 3 Colossi is the magic number. Yeah, usually 3 Colossi is the magic number, but 4 here could be good, because if the Raven takes out 2, you've got an extra one, then you've got 2 Colossi still active. That could actually be pretty neat, as the Phoenix right now coming into zone, Q his army away. The Raven for a moment here is actually vulnerable. You see, not even all the Phoenix shot there, and the Raven's already half HP, so I know I'm, really banging on about this Raven a lot at the moment, but this Raven really is vulnerable. It's flimsy, it falls apart quickly to Phoenix. You've got to be so careful at the moment. Now we're going to start up that disruptive production. Which is the right move. I mean, obviously 3 Colossi, you could argue, well, if if 2 Colossi get disabled, was disruptive faster, not good as well. I don't think so, because I think that baseline kind of extra damage from the Colossus can go a long way. And now it looks as though he's going to get the Colossus, disruptor, pretty safely as well anyways. He's also going to get the Archives up, so Archons can join the army and bulk it up. All of his upgrades coming through too, +1 armor, +2 attack and charge. Harstem's army, I would say, is really looking good, but obviously so much of PvT doesn't matter about the army you've got. It matters about how you utilize that army and how you micro in amongst the fight, right? So, long way to go. Yeah, just having the good army is not necessarily going to get the job done, right? I see a couple of robes going down, so you're all going to be seeing this one. High tempo launch, the feedback on the Raven gets it. That's huge, just taking the utility of the Raven out of the equation. That means the Raven's going to take a while before it's really useful, so again, just nice to get rid of that in a situation where it has been able to be kept alive for quite a long time. Definitely a decent start as a hallucination, just going to go moving forward. Zealots, Stalkers, Colossi, moving around in the center as well. Let's keep all of this going. Fusion Core coming up. Starport's going to be finishing shortly. The extra Ghosts all on the way as well. So all of this continue to be brought up and into the action. We do see this Widow Mine going off. Fusel's going to be nagged there. And only a couple of Zealots make it to the mineral line as Harstem is attempting a larger attack on the front at the same time. Moving in, Q, don't think he saw that, but the defensive position is just a little bit too good anyway. Rest of this force coming through, just going to see our Zealots going to try and nip away at those rocks. Take those down, open up the chance to move into that high ground perhaps. Definitely a possibility. It's going to move through, missile turret goes down, the Vikings are going to fight back, disruptor shot goes in. Just going to be seeing our units of Harstem looking to re-engage once again. And there's another disruptor shot off over the left-hand side. We'll catch 4 Marauders. Those 4 Marauders do go down. A couple of Zealots still just charging across to the refinery there. And it's going to be seeing our Liberator firing up a storm. Zealot after Zealot continuing to get knocked down for the moment. There's these couple of Zealots still going in after SCVs. Now some more Widowmine shots coming off. EMP's going down. Liberator sieging up. Vikings moving away over to the side. Disruptor shot. Oh, just going to grab 1 Marine there initially as you come through. Harstem just chipping away at some of the more expensive units at the moment. Not a bad way to get things going. Obviously plenty of libs coming up though, and Harstem doesn't really have any good answers to Liberators at the moment. He only has, well, he doesn't even have Blink. So Liberators are genuinely a big issue at the moment, probably the biggest he could face. Once he gets Blink, then maybe you can start looking towards the Stargates and Fleet Beacons. Yeah, it's difficult to play this if your opponent's just going to mass libs, because you're going to end up in a position where you just cannot fight into any single position, right? It's going to be tough. Shot fires, doesn't quite land. More disruptor shots coming in, but again, I mean, for whatever they hit, the Liberators are doing a good job of zoning out and doing some damage themselves. One Liberator going down. Again, others on this high ground zoning. That's another disruptor shot that will connect. Good group of battle units getting caught there once again as and just Sarkon in the front just goes down, a Stalker as well, and again you can just see what these Liberators are providing. I really feel like, I mean, Harstem needs an answer to this. Obviously Q is playing pretty defensively with these Liberators as well right now, so working around that. We blink in, we get rid of 1 Lib, we're going to see another disruptor shot coming around, CC goes down. The disruptor shot just going to land and hit that Widowmine as well, so doing decently. Let's go, our Stalker disruptor force going to move up this ramp. We are going to see the Liberator is already sieging. Knock down that sensor tower, more disruptors continuing through. Liberators are going to siege up en masse at the moment. It's just going to be seen how Stalkers do get zoned out of there. That's going to be having the extra gate production coming through in the front now. Harstem wants to warp in at the front and just keep this pressure up. Just, I guess, rebuild quickly and just keep on going, guys. I see the frame drops. I'm sure this will get fixed in a second. I don't know what it is that causes this lately, but every now and again this happens on the WTL feed. It's going to see some disruptor shots actually do land, and this time it didn't cost Harstem anything. Or we not just add the Liberator count where we can just leave a couple in every single position, right? I feel like we've been talking about these Liberators for an eternity. I really felt like we would have been there by now. One disruptor versus multiple units going down from here. Reasonable trade. You're gonna do batteries and cannons in the front, jeez. I just don't think Q cares. Q just doesn't care at all, because eventually it's not gonna matter about that stack defense or whatever, because the Liberators are just gonna own this fight. Unless Harstem gets something that can deal with the Libs better, I just don't think it matters at all. Now he's going to the right side. He wants to get this base. The Vikings move a bit too far forward. Obviously, the Disruptors are great at zone. We actually get the Raven coming in for an anti-armor missile. I mean, if Q just... Oh, this is nice. We're actually going to get a Liberator. That's the sort of stuff which Harstem really needs, I think. I know I keep saying it is the Colossi is going to come in on their own on the left side. Okay, this could be something. We did blink into this, but we've got the units on the right side zoned out down the low ground. The Colossi on their own little venture forward into this base. Killing off the missile turret. Now these SCVs in trouble. Yeah, I mean, these libs just not moving, so Kira needs to deal with that. Otherwise, he's going to lose a full mineral line. And he needs to lift this orbital as well. Phoenix should do less damage than what the Colossi will do. Lifts that up finally is... Again, just needs to get some units over there. He's going to send the rest of his libs over to that left-hand side. Nothing happening on the far right just yet, it seems. Let's see how the Vikings as well. That should be a potential for a full cleanup if you get the Vikings there, because there's nothing to really fight the Vikings off. Not sure what we're going to do about that. It's Harstem. What's the plan? As Kira has been losing out on a lot of stuff. Picture in picture going to show you the Vikings starting to kill the Colossi, but has Kira being pulled out of position because now that right side is being attacked? Well, I guess the Liberator's back over there. As Harstem loses the Colossi, he'll just rebuild with more Stalkers, more Disruptors, more of what he's already been building. Oh my goodness, that Disruptor, if it pulled back, would have done so much. Going to start breaking down the low ground here. Kira still has, by the way, the 5th base is coming online. I can't quite believe he's actually got that up and running, because Harstem's been controlling this area out the front. To not have managed to get a few units over there is kind of crazy. Kira's going to continue to siege up Liberators, these Stalkers doing what they can. And look at the Liberators just going huge at the end there, getting the Disruptor as well. Oh, a DT show up at least to get this base, and that is going to be a late scan and repair. And so Kira will not keep the 5th alive. So the 5th base goes down. Look in the middle, Observer. I know there's a DT chasing you, but we've got armies positioning because this fight is about to break out, I think. I think these two are really on the verge of taking a big fight, because I don't think Kira's messing around anymore. I think he's ready to just kind of force the engagement because he doesn't have the really much of the economy. Problem is, Harstem's army is very good at hit and run, and so if you can play that game, Kira can't actually get across the map. I thought that might have been his chance. So many DTs on the right side. I think Harstem's doing this, guys. I was extremely worried about the Liberators. I talked about them a lot, but Kira's just not kept up with the Liberator movement as well as he needed to. Now he loses a base on his left-hand side as well. Kira is seriously in some trouble right now as these Stalkers going to get forward, get a Liberator. We're going to be seeing the Vikings coming through as well. That Disruptor's dead, unfortunately. It's still a dangerous game you're playing against all of those Liberators, no doubt about it. As we do kill off that right side base. More of these libs continue to siege up. Bioforce still coming through. Disruptors still taking a lot of shots. We're just going to see our Stalkers blinking through and getting rid of a few more Vikings. Yeah, Kira is definitely struggling now. He's going to again try and go across the map. It's again, if he could force a fight, then brilliant, but he's just not been able to force the fight because of how this has been going. And Harstem is doing a reasonable job. Now these libs are flying very far forward, so we should be able to start turning around and getting some shots off before we see the libs sieging. I don't think the target fire was there, though. I think we actually really missed out on some of the libs that could have gone down, and he lost high ground vision, so the other libs that actually are going to be able to stay sieged. Harstem's army is needing reinforcements, and I think Zealots will get the job done because Kira's army is lacking. Kira's going to type GG. Harstem does find the first game he needs here, but he needs one more to tie this series up and to take the predictions out there up at the start of the series. As we have in the top left-hand side, the blue Terran player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it is Kira. Bottom right-hand side, our red Protoss, it is going to be Harstem. Alright then. Getting this set to go. See what will go down in this game number 2. Well, we have got a probe of Harstem already moving out onto the map and moving up the right-hand side. I did think Harstem did a very good job of just moving around that last game. It was a very difficult style to play. And he was able to move around enough to keep himself active and to make it happen against Kira there. It's going to sound stupid, but I actually really think the 4 Colossi on the left side is what won him the game. Because Kira really overreacted to those. He brought libs from the right side to the left. then his Vikings were going to be there, which would have been enough to clean it up. If he just left the libs on the right side, he would have never been open to attack there. But that's what Harstem used to sort of start getting a lot of big pickoffs, and suddenly Q never really found himself back in position, and obviously at that point he started losing bases, right side to the DTs, left side to the Stalker blink in post-Colossus attack. Has anyone ever seen the rocks in the center taking down this map? Very rarely. It's funny because taking down the rocks in the middle is actually just bad for both players, right? Like, it opens up a counterattack path you don't usually have to worry about. Yes, it shortens the map if you're being aggressive, but it just gives you more reasons to worry. One of the big parts of this map is that there's two main attack paths. If you're rallying down one of them, you only have to defend one counterattack pathway, whereas if you open up the rocks in the center, you've got two counterattack paths to your base, and you might be running across the map faster, but you might be dying just as quickly, right? That's a funny one. Probably gets hunted down, and as you see, 3 racks the opening here from Kua. No surprises, it's Curious Minds, it's a short map. No surprises at all just yet. As you have our Adept, excuse me, off over to the sides. Adept is coming on through. Just gonna see our Phoenix coming up and our Warp Gate on the way in at the moment. Just gonna be seeing our Adept of Harstem continuing into the top left hand side of the map at the moment. Try to see what's going on. They're gonna come through. Yeah, Harstem did see that stim pack, by the way. That's fun. I don't think he saw if it was what it was attached to, so he just wants to double check it is a barracks, just in case it's something weird. But he does get the confirmation on that now, so good to know that exactly what it is. It's a free scout as well, right? It's not like the Adept has to commit in to see that. You get in with the Adept shade, you confirm it, and now you just know for sure. So it's obviously brilliant. Oracle's on the way. Gonna get that Robo up. You kind of need the Robo. You need probably an Immortal here just to help you survive some of the early 3-racks pressure here. Just something a bit tankier that can dish out some damage. That usually feels pretty darn important. So, getting set up for that. Comes the Oracle coming in as the units have already moved on the map. I mean, this does mean the Oracle's not going to help with the defense at all or anything along those lines. It's just going to have 4, 5 SCVs going down already. Wow, 5 SCVs going down, making a couple of Marines as well. Okay, Harstem's doing very well here. As long as he can defend across the map, the attack across the map's happening. Super Battery, Force Fields. Okay, 7 SCVs dead. That's been great for Harstem, but he actually just walked down his ramp. No, I think he's okay. I think he's absolutely okay. Even if the super battery fades, you've got a full NG battery there. You've shut down reinforcements. One of the Oracles died, which is a bit of a shame, but you did a lot of damage. Did a lot of damage so far. Let's see how Fear Dev's going to shade forward. He's actually on the chase now, which at some point I feel like this could go wrong. Don't get too greedy. We are going to turn it back around. Fall away. Third Nexus comes down from Harstem here. Again, good start to this game on Curious Minds. Can he keep it going? Can he keep it up? It's going to be seen at Colossi. Corona boosting along for the moment. Oracle heading to the upper left. Just going to see this Bioforce coming through. Oracle gets turned around. Just going to be seeing the couple of Medivacs still moving down the bottom right. And we do have, of course, the Colossus production continuing as well. You can get a Colossus up. Of course, he goes a long way to defending against this Phoenix Oracle coming around. Gonna nab a pylon in the bottom corner as well. Just gonna grab that, take it down, and just now gonna be seeing the extended thermal lance coming through on the Robo Bay as well. So continue to get a bit more tech up and rolling here for the moment. These two Colossi start to move on through, trying to see what they can do. Just going to see Marines, Marauders continuing in, and a couple Marines already going to be picked away at. Just going to see how battery is getting taken down. Oh, this third base of Harstem isn't being protected very well. Oh, the Phoenix just can't quite catch this Medivac. Only 2 Marines in the Medivac go down. I guess these Marines won't do much in the end. Well, Harstem just about survives that. That felt like it was about to go very badly wrong, but it actually turned out to be just about okay. I was going to actually make a dive in. Bioforce coming through. Got a lot of space on the force field. Got a bit of a jump going, but not enough to get rid of the Colossus. Lost the Immortal, lost some of the units, but the Colossi stay alive, and they are kind of your main portion of your army now. That's what you're really relying on to deal a lot of damage in this attack. So if you can keep those Colossus up, you're still looking okay. Resource lost is amazing for Harstem here. He's up 12 workers as well. Kira is... I mean, he's only just now started a third base, so he's been very committed on 2 bases. I don't think this is happening at all for Kira, and Harstem, dare I say, he might even have a chance to go across the map. I feel like if you build a prism, he could maybe go across the map and see what there is to do, but that's A, scary, B, it is, like I talked about this earlier, the open kind of aspect of this map, right? So then you're kind of allowing yourself to potentially be surrounded. You've got to be very careful about that, as these Phoenix are going to kill this Medivac. I feel like that's something to be careful of. I love the idea here from Kira. He says, right, your Phoenix out of position. Time for me to just try and drop. Harstem is prepared with Stalkers in the main base and Colossi. This ain't doing anything, and the problem is if you turn around, you've got a massive Phoenix heading right in your direction. Kira types GG. We are going to the ace match. Harstem knocks his headphones off in celebration. Wow. In we go. It's going to be a little low FPS for a moment or two, but I'm sure this will get sorted pretty quickly, as we do have Hero in the top right, our blue Protoss player, taking on Bjorn, the red Terran in the bottom left-hand side. And kick this off, we get this started to see what is going to happen in this best of 1 ace game. Winner of this will be at the top of the league. Let's see our simulator going down. As we get stuff started off, we get this underway. It's going to be having, I mean, again, very standard map for this map number 7. 2,000 atmospheres. Wouldn't have influenced the player pick too much. Again, this is really just down the middle for pretty much every single match, so... Going to be seeing our factory going down to start us out. Probe on a little bit of a patrol. Just going to see our factory coming up as well. And obviously this probe getting ready to proxy a little bit off one base. So Hero going to get very aggressive here on 2,000 atmospheres. One of the dangerous things about Hero is he isn't afraid to mix it up, do something aggressive, do something dangerous, just like this. Really believes in himself when it comes to games like this one, so we'll see how this goes. Again, big important match because the winner of this pretty much takes that team into first place of the league. If Shopify win this, they'd have 21 points. In fact, they'd be tied with DPG, 21 points each. So I guess DPG will still be in first no matter what. But that's because DPG get 1 point if they lose here. That's actually really interesting. It does obviously still give Shopify Rebellion the best possible chance of finishing as high as possible in these group stages. Shopify do have an okay-ish end to the league. Next week, Alpha X. Week afterwards is going to be against GP. So, very doable ending. DPG have a couple tougher matches. Well, they have to play GP, but they also have to play Kaizi, which we know is no walk in the park nowadays with their roster. Looking as good as it's ever been. It's going to see our two Hellions going in after this Zealot, which is going to take the Watchtower. And the Zealot is going to go down, so Zealot is just going to die off them. We're just going to be seeing our Phoenix production out of that Stargate. It's funny, because now your Phoenix are not going to be spawning at home to help you with this aggression coming in with the medevac drop. Looks like I might just skipped a little bit, guys, due to some of the lag earlier. But these two Phoenix are making their way back home as the Hellion drop gets set to go into the main. It honestly feels like Hero's going to be pretty okay to deal with this. The good news is, I mean, I guess you can only lift up one Hellion at a time, though, right? So if you lift up one Hellion, there's still 3 to deal damage. So Bjorn is going to get in. He's actually going to lift the Hellions back up. I think that was a mistake, honestly. Yeah, I feel like that was a mistake, because it feels like he could have just kept them on the ground and firing, and I'm not sure. Maybe you just meant to lift up the one damaged one. He gets 7 probes, will lose everything, though, so pretty heavily invested first attack here from Bjorn. Gonna turn out okay, but nothing really too fascinating, I would say. Not too wild at all. It's just going to be seeing our probes being dead, and now Bjorn will move down to the low ground. So obviously everyone's been on a slower expansion this game. Hero built that Stargate before he expanded. Bjorn is going to end up expanding himself right now. Just going to see the starport is being hunted on the way back home, so that's actually kind of a problem too. Really would like to not have to rebuild the starport from the ground up, right? As we do get rid of the Adept here. Can the Marines and the Cyclone fight these Phoenix? I think they can. I think that starport is going to be protected. Actually diving in for some of these Marines. Phoenix want to trade out their energy. We lose one Phoenix. We don't quite find the second one, unfortunately. That could have made a pretty serious difference, but doesn't quite happen. Going to see the Phoenix going to end up in that bottom left-hand corner. Twilight Council is going to start up on the main base, get that going. Phoenix wanting to come back into the main. It's still going to be about halfway done. Starport just getting the reactor going. Stim +1. All of that continuing through as the Cyclone is about to complete. So again, another Cyclone finished up right now. And that's a lot of Marine Cyclone on the map. These Phoenix have to be careful. Well, you're only just now getting the Twilight, and that means we're going to go straight to charge. I wonder if there's going to be like a slight timer before charge is done for Bjorn to kind of get in and deal some damage. There's still equal workers, by the way, which typically is not ideal for a Protoss player. They want to be ahead on workers, so that is Bjorn's kind of early damage coming through, and there's that Stim well on the way. I really feel like if you just go across the map, Medevacs join up with this army, you're going to hit before charge, and if you're hitting before charge, it's got to be terrifying from Hero's perspective. Hero has not a lot of army supply right now. He's getting extricated. Still no third base, though, from Hero either, so it's not like he's set up into the most amazing kind of macro position for the, follow-up here. He's just so heavy on the Phoenix count. Gonna start moving forward. Bjorn's actually intercepting the Phoenix for the moment or two. A little bit of damage being dealt there initially. Doesn't look like anything actually went down. Wasn't too big of a deal. Wasn't too big of a commitment in. It's going to be seeing our units then from Bjorn starting to move forward just a little bit. And away we go with the Cyclone going to take the Watchtower. Just continue to see the force of Hero getting strong. I mean, the fact he's going to get charged before a fight happens, I feel like is imperative to his success in this game. He's still down a lot of supply, though. I mean, Bjorn's first attack could be scary. Do these Phoenix not realize where that Bioforce is, or do they know and they just trying to hit reinforcements? There's a lot of Marines collected together at home. Double Widowmine shot! It's a couple Phoenix dead already, and the Marines are there to support, so the Widow Mines don't get taken down either. And Bjorn, he's killed 4 Phoenix now this game. That's fantastic, and he's kind of looking to try and catch the Phoenix coming back. There's still no third base from Hero as he starts up Storm. I mean, it's gotta. I mean, if there's a third base, I feel like Bjorn would have been in across the map and on top of it already, which is obviously why I think Bjorn hasn't been aggressive. Now that third base starts to come down, maybe we'll see Bjorn commit for the cancel. I think he's got the power to do so. Storm is not ready just yet. Get across the other side. Just going to see the Storm moments away from finishing. You have a lock onto one of the high tempo though, and that is going to go down. There's the first Storm. Actually hits pretty nicely. The Phoenix that remain, not in exactly the greatest of numbers. And that third base is going to be zoned out by a couple of Widow Mines. The first Widow Mine shot is going to go on the Phoenix. That blows up 2 of the 3. The last one goes down. Now Widow Mines are going to hit these Zealots. I don't think Hero has enough at all right now. That third base is cancelled, and Bjorn is starting to get the job done here. Ooh, splits against the Storm as well. Extra High Templar just finished morphing in, but they're going to become Archons. Bjorn might just be able to win this right now as he is stepping forward. Super Battery does go down. There's just not really any firepower in the army of Hero. These Archons could make perhaps a big difference simply for the fact there's just so many low HP units here from Bjorn, but Hero sits back in his chair. He doesn't have it done, and Shopify Rebellion are going to defeat Dragon Phoenix Gaming here today in the World Team League. Bjorn is going to get it done.